name is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at the College of Charleston.
Good job.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search. Hello, everyone. Dave Robinson here, the father of missing geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm trying to get this video correct here. But thanks so much for being here tonight, joining me on this live stream. I'm not going to try to make it quick. I always say that, but then I end up here for 2 hours. But I just want to come on really quick and talk to everyone about what I'm trying to do for the 23rd. I put out on social media asking anyone who was willing to aid me and assist me into putting something together. As you know, I've been spending a lot of time on the campaign trail, working a campaign, and that has been taking a lot of energy, my strength, doing some things, trying to stay on top of that. But I definitely need all the help I can get in trying to put something together because every year. I'm praying that I can find Daniel before that time, before the 23rd. But every year I have some type of event where I want to highlight not just my son's case, but also other families' cases out there, because it is very important to have everyone voice heard. My goal is to try to get as many people as I can voice heard out there, and that's what I ask each and every lesson as well to share a story. It's very important to share a story or not finding someone, because a lot of times families don't have the option or just have the ability to get someone to go out looking for their loved one, or get the news media to put the story on for everyone to be able to hear some information about their missing loved one. So a lot of times we have to rely on people like yourself to share a story. That's why I say it's important. If you can share a story every day, it's only take but like 5 seconds to do so. So if you see a story out there that says someone went missing, please share that story. Like I said, it could mean a bit difference between someone getting found or not. So, but again, going to what I come in here tonight, again, I just want to see if anyone have an opportunity to try to help out as much as you can for this event that I want to try to put together. I haven't even really put the legwork down of what I really want to do, because it's hard. I want to do an in-person event. At the same time, I'm pushing towards a virtual event. And so just trying to make those either one actually happen, because the crunch time is now. We already in June 23rd to get here really quick. And preparation for people who may want to join. I talked to a family today about it, and they were saying they would like to be a part if get ahead of time notice so they can prepare, and that's the point. So not being able to move fast enough will probably end up causing me to make it a virtual event. That's what I'm saying. So if you can help and you have some ideas of what I may be able to do for this event, the phone number is right there below. And I did to listen to my voice right now, and you left a message. I've seen those messages. My intention is to get to it tomorrow. Today I believe it or not, I hit over 900 houses today, getting out flyers and talking to people. But tomorrow I'll hopefully get a little more time where I can actually make these phone calls. So my goal is to try to get the phone calls of people who left messages at the number that you see down here on the screen. Try to get that done by the weekend. And so people come up with great ideas. I had one gentleman came up with a great idea. He talked about a bench and things like that. And that's one thing I was going to do right here on the crime scene, I like to call it. I talked to the owners of the land out there who's willing to let me put some type of monument out there for my son, and something to tribute to him out there, and also missing Americans. So I'm still working on that part, but right now, just wanted to make sure I get an event done for the families out there. I'm hoping I can find my son before then. Even if not, I still want to be able to do something for the families out there. So again, if you have any ideas, you can drop your idea on the number right here to see on the screen, or you can email me at daniel@yahoo.com. If my screen go out, apologize. I've been having some issues. Every time I come on here lately to do a live stream, I have some issues with my camera or the feed or something going on. But so if that happened and I end up cutting it short, please forgive me. I'm going to try to stay on long as I can. But also, you can visit the website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. But again, contact me, like I said, utilize the number you see here, 803-200-7994. Or you can email me, pleasehelpfinddaniel@yahoo.com. And so if you have any ideas, if you have a way you make it help contribute to me doing an event, that would help out. That would help out tremendously. I have someone on Instagram say, God bless you and your family. Daniel was one of my best friends in college, and I'll always cherish him. I really appreciate that, Steve. Thank you so much for hitting me up on the Instagram side. So I can see those everyone who's on the Instagram side, I can see you, but I'm not able to put you on the screen just yet. Again, I say this all the time. Instagram do not really allow that to happen just yet. I don't know why, but I hope they can change that. But I do want to thank everybody for joining in. I'm going to do a really quick Q&A, and then I'm going to. I just want to get that information out there. My intention is to do an event this month on the 23rd to highlight, Daniel been missing for 5 years. I want to say that it'll be 5 years that Daniel has been missing. Our time went by really fast. For me and my family, it's like day one. Every day is like day one. So it's very painful every day. I had a similar scare with my younger daughter, which took me really hard a couple of days ago, several days ago. And like what I'm saying is, for families who are out there, having to miss a loved one is an event that just really, really could tear you apart. And then, then you have any type of new events that happen like that, it can really rip you apart even more. So I will tell people all the time, please hold the ones you love very dear and close. I would never thought in a million years that me and my family would be talking about a missing loved one. And, it hit home. That's how I found out about the information. 600,000 Americans go missing and 3,000 a day, those type things. My son is a part of that statistic. And, it's not easy for any family. I think about the families that have missing loved ones today that had to go through this. But I just want to say, without jumping all over the place, I'm very tired. You probably all could probably tell, but I want to come on here to just kind of clear that up for those who was asking a question, how they can help. Again, please help find Daniel.com. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com is where you can contact me if you want to email me with some ideas or ways you can help. I think one person asked me, thought I was saying that I was doing a search. No, I'm not doing a search on the 23rd. That would take a lot of capital that I just don't have right now. I would love to get back out there to search areas that really need to be searched again. And again, that costs a lot, put a lot together just to get that done. But I do want to be able to hold an event on the 23rd to highlight the fact that my son had been missing for 5 years, but also just like I always do, you have to be inclusive to everyone, every family out there that has a missing loved one. Try to highlight as many families as I can, get their story out there for you all to share. I'm trying my best to bring some resources in there, like I had before, like probably Missing Exploited Children, to Black and Missing Foundation, to some of the others. So Missing American Network, if I can get them. So if you have any ideas, I'll try to see if anyone has something on Instagram. Thank you everyone that joining on Instagram, though. I can see you up there. But if you have an idea, please hit me up on that. Now I want to jump in the comment section because I want to do a really quick Q&A. I mean, this is going to be really quick. So I just want to take a few questions for anybody who just have a question about Daniel's case, something I can answer. And for those who probably haven't heard of Daniel's case and probably curious of what's going on and want to know about this vehicle, the clothes that was found 3 feet away from the vehicle, things like that. Whatever question you may have, I can answer those. If you're on Instagram, I can see your questions up there as well. But I'm going to put some here on the screen. And if you do have a question, the way I identify it in the comment section, if you have put the word question there before you ask your question, then I can identify as it comes down, or a question mark, like a capital letter Q, question mark, before you ask the question. That way, when I come the comment section, I should identify that specific question. That I end up, coming down too fast and then won't be able to see your question and miss your question. All right. I just want to say, Justin, thanks so much for being here. Marie, thanks so much for being here. Tiffany, thanks so much for being here. Matter of fact, let me put you on the screen real quick. I think I have a Grizzly here. Thank you so much for your prayers, Justin. Also, Thank you for you must be a Grizzly. So you say from Grizzly True Crime. Let's find Daniel. Thanks so much. I love when the Grizzlies be here, and I really, if you go back to Grizzly True Crime, talk to Gizla, tell her I say hello. I am going here to send her a message. I haven't talked to her in a little while, but also Tiffany. Thanks so much for being here. We are hoping and praying Daniel's found soon. I think your family. I think of your family often. You deserve answers and closures. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Paula, thanks so much for being here. Please let us know we can find a link to the GoFundMe account to help with the search for your amazing and beloved son. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It could be site. I think it's on the bottom of the screen. Yes, the website information. Well, thanks so much for your support. We need all the support we can get. I truly appreciate you. Also, thank you, Shay. I never forget Daniel. Thanks so much. I truly appreciate you. SBT Love on Instagram. I'll never stop following this. Wish I was closer to help. And you can help. You know, I tell everyone I'm going to share this as well. I'm going to share. Please help find Daniel website for y'all. Since you asked that question or made a comment, you can go to the website and there's ways that you can help. Now I can tell you all, like I said, running for U.S. Congress takes a lot of my time. When I say a lot, it takes a whole lot. And you know, I have noticed of several things that happen on Please Help Find Daniel website that I wanted to correct, and I have yet to be able to. I just haven't found the time to do it yet. But one thing you can do to help, if someone asks, what can I do, even from a distance, you can print the flyers. Print the flyers. I know it costs money, so that's a form of donation. I want to say thank you for those who decide to print the flyers themselves. You know, you print that. You know, of course, you get the PDF that come up where you can print them. That helps because I still need to get the flyers out there. So that helped me tremendously. As in for requested flyers, like I said, I had to go back on here. My link to this has been broken. So you can request flyers. Oh, it's back up. Thank God. Okay. Well, I had some issues with my link, so I see it's back up. But all you do is request the flyers. I can get the information, and then I can get flyers sent out to you. So you can do that as well. That's another way to help. Of course, we have the donation to the efforts to find Daniel. You also have down here, let's see if we go down to the bottom, where you can do a mail-in protest. For those who may want to be able to help, you can do a mail-in protest. These are picket signs. These are picket signs that were created when I was doing a protest out in Buckeye and also the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office in Phoenix. And, you know, for those who I decided to make a mail-in protest, was for those who, like yourself, that say, hey, I want to help, but I live too far away. I'm not in Arizona, and I live in South Carolina, or I live in Georgia, and you want to help. And so those are the way you can help. This is a picket signs. There's 5 picket signs here. You choose either one, though, but they look like these here, where it's pretty much the same signs that I would have been using for the protests out there in Arizona. But the difference is, you know, you mail them in, and I'm trying to get everyone to mail in as many of these as you can. So again, this is like a form of donation because you have to print these out and stuff them in an envelope. And once you stuff them in an envelope, you send them out to the address you see below. Please mail it out to the Buckeye Police Department, Chief Robert, and also Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. And I think that sheriff changed after the election, so I'm not sure. But that's the address for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, where you can mail these off. And what my goal is to have thousands of them sent to them every week, so they would not, you know, the nature of doing that would keep them from calling Daniel's case a cold case. And that's what, you know, some of the issues is when it comes to, you know, cases. You know, it's one of those things. So to keep it from being called a cold case, I want to be able to, you know, get those picket signs out there, get them mailed in. They cannot forget about Daniel's case. That kind of calls law enforcement to actually do some work. So that is a strategy that worked for me very well. They have since slowed down. And as you all know, I had last promise I got from the Buckeye Police Department was on April 12th last year. April 10th, excuse me, last year, and they haven't fulfilled those promises. And I noticed that whenever I'm in Arizona, then the police department does nothing. You know, they kick the can down. You have to kick the can down the road. You have to kick them down the road a little bit. And you know, everyone know the way I am once I'm in Arizona. I'm not afraid to challenge with the police departments. Not afraid to speak up. And then I'm always in their face and always get things done. So my goal is to get back in Arizona to push the Buckeye Police Department back into doing what they should be doing. But again, that comes with funding, things like that. So let's see here if I've been. But thank you everyone for being here. Sanchez, thanks so much for being here. And let me check the Instagram side to be on safe. I do not see any questions so far. But if I don't have any questions, that's fine. If anybody don't have any questions, but if you can get ideas what I may be able to do for the third. I apologize again, everyone. I said I want to stay on here as long as I can, but I've been having some technical difficulties. But June 9th is we have what is called a primary here in South Carolina. And it's June 9th is our primary date. And so I've been working very hard for the last coming up to June 9th. We have an early voting that's going on now until Friday, 5 o'clock. And then it's like a little break for the weekend. And then Tuesday is the last day, and that's the actual voting day. And then I will find out if I won my election or not for the primary to go into the midterm election. So what I'm saying is I've been pushing. When I say I had put out 900, I visit over 900 houses a day. I did over 900 houses a day. 900, I think it was 923, I believe it was. And it was a lot. I'm tired. So I'm like physically tired. And so what I'm saying is, it takes a lot of my time, a lot of efforts. And then so like mentally to try to think of an idea, creative idea like I do every year, it's been very difficult for me. And then at the same time, I'm trying to make sure if it's going to be something physical, say for people to actually show up, then I'm going to have to try to push for the funding to cover that. If not, I'm trying to do a virtual and still be creative to bring in some resources for the families to not just, hey, can you come on this virtual or you come to this event? I want to be able to give the families something, to aid them and assist them. Like I say, there's a lot of resources out there, so I'll be working hard, and I do have connections because I do have friends of people who are actually doing some things as well for missing American families, and so I can reach out to them and try to get them a part if it fits their schedule to be able to come to this event and things like that. So trying to work it out, but I need some help. I need everybody help as many people as I can to help out. I have someone on Instagram say Daniel had a poster on the missing person wall. I left a message of love for him and you, sir. So many of us are thinking of you both. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. And also you said there was a missing person wall at CrimeCon. Yes, now I know what you're talking about. CrimeCon. Daniel had a poster on, and I wrote a message of love for him and you, always thinking of you. Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Yes, I've been to CrimeCon twice, and I did it in Las Vegas, and then I did it in Florida, down in okay, now I'm thinking about the area, but down in Florida. So I haven't been back since those two. But yes, he did. He was on that wall. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your gesture of love and love support. So I really appreciate that. Also let's see here, James. I have Laura here. Thanks so much, Laura. James Cole, my daughter's brother-in-law, was gone over 6 months. He came home to rest last weekend. Praying you find your beautiful son, sir. Thank you so much, Laura. And if I'm hearing this right, I hope I'm hearing it right. You're saying that your daughter's brother-in-law was gone for over 6 months, and he returned, is what I'm hearing. And when I hear that, it kind of reminds me of a case. Friend of mine, you all probably remember Jessica Nunez. her daughter Alicia Navarro, who went missing at the age of 14. And to make a long story, she was able to return home at 18. And so, so things can happen where, and I'll tell you right now, I have a lot of dreams, a lot of times that Daniel, it's weird because it's always the same thing. I'm walking in the street and I run into Daniel and I was able to bring him back home. And I always keep having those dreams, and I'm hoping that it come true in some form of fashion. So yes, those things can happen. I have another best friend of mine. He had a brother who's been gone for 20 years. And he ended up returning. So it can happen. I just hope it don't be that long, but it can happen. So I really appreciate it. Thank you, Karita. Thanks so much for being here. Put a smile on my face. Thank you for all the things you have done for my efforts to find Daniel out there in Arizona, out in the searches with me and flyers and everything else that you do. I truly appreciate you and always going to make sure I highlight that. So thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else I have here. Sierra, hope I can get you back up here. Yes, you have a question. Just like Sierra put the question here, everyone, that's exactly what I was asking for. If you have a question, please put the word question there first. Capital letter Q, a question mark, so I can identify. Have you reached out to the woman that does the cases for the show Cold Justice? No, I'm not even familiar with the show, so I'm not sure. If you give me a name, Sierra, I would know if I have or not. I'm trying to think because that name of that show, I don't know if it's a new show. If it's a new show, it could be associated with someone I may know because I do know someone will be hosting a new show and she went missing herself at one point. Thank you so much for that question. Jules, thanks so much for your question as well. If we wanted to search on our own, do we need to get permission from the ranch owners first? Now, well, back when I was searching out there where they had a new community, I had some issues with a company called El Dorado Holdings. And El Dorado Holdings gave me, excuse the expression when I say this, hell to do those searches out there. But yet I was able to do 50 weeks out there, right? And so what I'm saying is a lot of that land has been sold. Some of the ranchers really didn't have a real big issue with it, ranchers, but those owners of that smart city they're trying to put out there had some issues. But once they broke ground, they did give me an opportunity to go search that little area about 3-4 times before they actually broke ground. And so I would say it will probably be better if you did. I'm not going to tell anybody, no, you don't need to go ask permission. It's just that I have, after the length of time I was out there, I formed some relationship with the owners who outside of that smart city. So just like I was saying earlier, they allow me to put something permanent at this place here where the vehicle's found if I want to. And so I have people going out there, and some people still out there go out there and search. Like I said, I don't think they ask for permission. I'm gonna say, hey, don't ask for permission to go out there. But I just know that some people still go out there, and I have some friends of mine who's constantly, when I'm here in South Carolina, still going out every once in a while. They can go out there to search for Daniel or see what they can find, or if they can find any. And one thing we're looking for when we was out there is the prospect mines. There's a lot of them out there. So if you are going out there, Jules, that's some of the things you have to be careful for is to look out for those type of mines. There's a lot of vertical mines that go straight down into the ground. And one of the concerns was because a lot of prospect mines has not been marked or even found. Because that whole area out there used to be a gold rush. Area, and there's still gold out there. But those mines been left behind. A lot of them left behind. They may be covered a little bit, and then you fall down in it. So do be careful out there. And that's the only thing I can say. I really wouldn't suggest to say, hey, just go out there without asking. But for me, when I do the searches, I make sure that everyone is safe. We utilize drones to go ahead of us. I go out there before the search, and in the area that I want searched, we kind of sweep through those areas first for things. What I'm just saying, the unsafe things that can happen out there in the desert. So just be careful if you do. You can go out there. I think no one can really stop you. that's from my from when I'm learning from experience when I've been out there. But asking for permission, I can't tell you not to. No, that's one thing for sure. But I do know one or two of the ranchers that live out there, where they own the land out there. So, but be careful if you do go out there. I have a comment. Unsolved Couple Pod. Thanks so much for being here on Instagram side. Say we handed out his flyers at our at our booth, at CrimeCon. We are hoping that he will be found ASAP. Thanks so much for doing that. I truly appreciate it. Yes, definitely. Sometimes people ask me why I keep wanting flyers sent out there after all this time. Because, first of all, United States is a great big place, right? And I remember being in Arizona, and I did all those weeks of desert searches, and I was, it's kind of funny because I always highlight, everyone is always talking about how many searches Mr. Robinson and the team and everyone and the volunteers did out there in the desert, and we up to 50 weeks, right? But we never mentioned the city search and the city flyer distribution. People don't know that once I leave the desert that morning, and usually we finish around 1 o'clock at the latest, I had to rush back to Phoenix. I had to turn in equipment. I had to be like Superman, turn in equipment, get back to my place, take a quick shower, jump in my regular car, and then meet everyone down behind the Walgreens. And many people know what that is. I had volunteers meet me behind the Walgreens and in Phoenix, and we all go out into the city to put thousands of flyers out, right? And then some people just meet me behind the Walgreens to grab some flyers to take back into their communities and pass them out, things like that. So there's a lot of flyers being distributed. But the point I'm making is, even with all of that, I have to the day that was last year when I was in Arizona in April. There were still people who lived there all their life and didn't hear about it. So what I'm saying is always someone who haven't heard about Daniel's story, and then that someone may happen to be someone who knows something. Then when they get that wind of or a flyer or something that jog their memory, and they see Daniel's face or something about his vehicle or whatever the case may be, they go look up some things. Then it jog their memory, and then they can give me a new lead. Because one of the things I'm looking for right now is a new lead. Other part is if people get the flyers out there in Little Whiskey, Georgia, or in Columbia, South Carolina, give a flyer out, and someone who was in Arizona at the time moved to South Carolina, or moved to another place, they get that flyer again. That's still going to jog some type of memory. Or if we don't, I'm hoping. I'd rather hope this than what I'm doing out in the desert looking for remains of Daniel. If Daniel's out there somewhere, the flyer can identify him. Somebody say, "Oh, I seen him here, or I seen him there." So, and also it helped me with resources, because more people know about Daniel case. A lot of times people donate, they join in the search, or they'll help out. Like I'm asking right now for this event, for instance, I have people who will actually start helping out. So it always constantly keep me fresh with people who want to help out in my efforts to find Daniel, and also my advocacy efforts for everything else. So those flyers help out. They help out a lot of different ways. Now, financially for the flyers, it costs money. And I have been dealing with a lot of loss when it comes to finances and things like that. So that's why I'm asking everyone, if you have ways you can help me put this event together, meaning that you come up with a new idea and things like that, that helps. Same thing with me trying to eventually get back out there in the desert to do some more searching and some of those things, and also be able to get more flyers out, because it costs flyers. And if you can print those flyers out, if you can, because that help me financially as well. Like I said, it's a form of donation. I really thank everybody who can do that, because I know how much it costs to. And I did this one time on this video, on this live stream, show you how much it costs just to print these flyers, and it's very expensive over time. So it helps out, in a lot of ways you can help. Let's see if I have a question here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have one right here, Laura. Thanks so much for your question. What is your main goal for the event? Awareness. Thank you for your answer, sir. Yes. Well, and that's the main goal. You're right. The main goal for me, my family and I, we're not selfish people. we are hurt, and I'm devastated what's happening to my son. I'm still fighting for it, as you guys know. I mean, I am. I wrote a bill that's right now running in South Carolina. I wrote a bill that I was taking to U.S. Congress. I have a version of the same bill for Arizona and also Louisiana. So what I'm saying is, when I say a bill, it's something to help law enforcement and family. So those things are important to me, and definitely finding my son is the number one thing that I have to do. You know what I'm saying? My son comes first, right? At the same time, you know, with the tragedy of my son missing, I'm also there to help other families as much as I can. I wish I could take more dedication and more time like I used to be able to help, and more events and things like that, and try to type awareness and push hard on Daniel Rawson Foundation to get it off the ground like it should, and doing the things I really wanted to do. But trying to do all these things at one time, you know, it's been very difficult. But what I'm trying to do for this event here is what I always have been doing for every time I have events, is to talk about Daniel's disappearance. But like I said, we're not a selfish family. I want to be able to get as many families at this event so they can be able to speak, talk about their loved one, give us information, how we can help find their loved ones, what they may need. A lot of these families do need donation. They need help. They need some kind of way to be able to get their story out there or get flyers, you know, all these things. So this event to help other families to highlight their case and bring their cases forward as much as I can. I don't have a really big, huge platform like I used to, but whatever I got, I want to be able to utilize that to get someone's story out there. That's important to me. And I think we all should be doing that, doing some type of way to help another family, because again, like I said, Laura, you know, that's why you hear me when I start off this video, this live stream, I say when the lights and camera go off, I would be there for my son. That means when the news media go away, because, you know, with Dan's story, it took me 3 months to get his story highlighted on a national stage. I worked very hard for that. And it took also the unfortunate incident, you all know, of Gabby Petito, that actually pushed it to another level because of the white woman syndrome they was talking about at the time. And so you know, what I'm saying is a lot of families don't even get the opportunity to even have their story out there like that, right? Like we was fortunate to get Daniel's story out there on a national level. What I'm saying is those cameras go away to the news media. I got friends. I have friends at CNN, to Dateline, to News Nation, you know, you name it. And the story old to them. It's an old story, but not to me. You know, here it is going on 5 years, but it's like day one for me, you know, for the families. It's day one. So what I'm saying is the news media, they'll hold a story for a while when it's bringing a lot of attention and it's, you know, get them on the ratings and things like that. But once they get old, they look for something new, look for something different, look for something different. So you start losing that. So when the cameras and lights go off, you know, I'll still be there for my son, still continue to fight for him. So again, that's what we're doing for everyone, and that's my goal, is to try to do it for everyone, because the news media is only going to hold it for a certain length of time, but you guys can keep sharing and sharing and sharing, and that could be a bit difference between someone being found. So that's what I say it's important for us to all collectively share someone's story. We see any missing American story, share it. You know, it don't take but 5 seconds to do it. Just share it, share the story, and someone that's on your timeline might see the story. It's almost like passing out those flyers. They might say something and get something done. So that's important. Let's see who else I got here. Dragonfly, thanks so much. Dragonfly Lady, thanks so much for your question. What's the status of the investigation by the local police department in Arizona? I haven't heard any updates lately, and there's not going to be any updates because the Buckeye Police Department again is either lazy or have apathy or just straight up liars, right? And so, and it's hard for me to say this because Detective Adams, I thought a lot of him, and I'm still hoping to be able to do. But his name is Detective Adams. He took over Dan's case from Detective Biffin. Year before last, I happened to call for a status in 2024. I called up for a status to my son's case, and they haven't even gave me the courtesy to let me know that Detective Biffin either quit or got fired. I don't know what happened to him, but he was no longer on Dan's case, and Dan's case was just sitting there. And we have a new detective on his case, right, from the Buckeye Police Department. I just so happened to call for that. I would have never known. They would have never told me. Sure, I'm sure of that. It just, like I told you guys before, the fear I had when I had to leave Arizona because I ran out of funding and come back here. They would put, like I think they do in the many cases, they would have put Daniel's file in some closet, and if the family loses interest, everybody loses interest in the case. It collects dust. So much dust on you can blow. That's my image. You can blow the dust off the file because they throw it in the closet and they'll call it a cold case. They done with it. And my argument the whole time was that it's not a cold case because during the time when Detective Biffin was in my son's case, they gave me the vehicle 2 days after. Well, actually, the next day after it was found on the scene like this, right? Told me I had to come get it, and if I didn't have it removed, I had to pay storage fees, right? So I had the vehicle in my custody, but at the same time, they held it for a couple more days to do that swabbing, right? But I had all the clothing that was found on the scene. Let's see if I can orient my hand right. Clothing right here that was found on the scene, underwear, socks, clothing, everything on allegedly on my son's body. They put all that in evidence bags, but the bags was marked for safekeeping, meaning that they believe even with a head injury, Daniel's going to come back with butt naked and walking in the desert with a head injury. He's coming back for his things. It wasn't marked for evidence. It was marked for safekeeping. The cell phone, all his personal effects, everything. I had possession of all of it. And I spent a couple of years of storage fees, paying money. I had to come back here to South Carolina, still paying bills in Arizona at the time, until recently, until last year. And so what I'm saying is all those things was in my custody. And I was arguing the whole time for the last 2 years prior, that if they do the forensics work properly, they do the forensic work on that vehicle properly, on the clothing items, I mean, you name it, those result in new leads, right? But they're refusing to find new leads. They haven't even so much as do a comparison of the swabbing they got inside that vehicle, or the steel wheel, shifter, and door handle. And so, being that they haven't done that, that would generate new leads. The Buckeye Police Department have never had a reason to call Daniel's case a cold case. It's only cold because they don't want to do the work. And see, when I'm not in Arizona, they don't have nobody there to push them to do the work, and they won't do it. So that's the issue that I don't have right now, especially with everything going on. It's actually being present in Arizona as much as I really want to get into their face and actually make them do the work. So that's where we land at right now. You asked about that status. We have the status of the Buckeye Police Department's inaction on the case, and I have to get back into that language of things when I get a break. Once I get past this primary election I got here in South Carolina, I may have like at least a month to be able to. I was hoping I can get a vacation. Everybody know I was talking about the vacation every time I get on. Last time I had a vacation was before COVID, and so I was hoping to have some type of vacation, but that might have to end up being something like what I'm talking about, to get in the law enforcement face to get them to move forward with forensics. Let's see here. I don't have no questions on Instagram. Yes, I don't have any more there. Let's see if I have some here. Thank you, everybody. Tammy, Sanchez, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone who's actually out here to help. And yes, I do have friends of mine. If you said Black and Missing Ink, is that Black and Missing found? Yes. The friends of mine, and I definitely, the Missing Foundation helped me out there in that desert. When I say no one else, I'm talking about plenty of volunteers, hundreds of volunteers every week out there in that desert with me. The issue I had is a lot of people would come to me on social media and say, hey, look out for, you need to reach out. I think it's called something with a purpose, Vengeance with a Purpose, or something to that, or Texas Echo Search and things like that. And I reached out to every last one of these people, and not one of them helped, right? And so when I say not one of them helped, they literally did not help. I did reach out to them, but the Black and Missing Foundation not only helped, they provided some funding for my searches. They sent out some drones. I needed some specialized drone, but they sent some drones out there from a drone professional. Came out there to do some work on one of my searches, and also again, and they have been helping by getting Daniel's story out there. I mean, you name it. Right now, I even did some filming with them early part of this year in DC. So what I'm saying is the Black Community Foundation have always been a champion when it comes to helping me with Daniel's case. So Derek and Natalie, they know I have much love for them and what they do. So, but yes, they definitely helped out. If that's who you're speaking of, I believe that's all right. And I want to say Black American Network. I cannot forget about them too. Missing American Network, if y'all know anything about Missing American Network, they're not but they're foundation too. They're 501c3 too. And when I got back here to South Carolina, the Missing American Network helped me with my last event. If y'all remember, I had an event last year at the state capitol here in South Carolina at our state house. And that was very much supported by the Missing American Network, who supplied a lot of flashlights and candles and, there's a lot of stuff. And so I want to say thank you to them. And not only that, the Missing American Network had also flew me out to Arizona for a butterfly event. We had a butterfly event. You probably remember that. So I don't want to forget them. They've been very much friends of mine to really help everything, so I really appreciate them for what they have done as well. So you need to check them out as well. Missing American Network. Let me see. Oh, and the Petito family. Not so much as the foundation, but everybody know that Joseph and I are friends. Their family is friends as well. But when I say they participated in some events and things like that, I had even Joseph came out to my last search last year in April. So I want to say my hats off to the Petito family as well. And they know I got much love for them. All right, let's see. I think that's it, everyone. I don't see any more. Well, I'll take that back. Oh, okay. I think I lost my green screen. You'll see I've lost my green screen. So everything's going a little haywire here. So bearing it, but Dragonfly Lady, thanks so much for your question. Thanks so much. And I think I'm having all kind of issues. I think I probably lost my camera. That's what it's telling me on the end here. Let's see if I can get it right here. Okay, there we go. But I lost my green screen. Okay. If you all can hear me, give me some thumbs up. I definitely want to make sure I have that at least. So if I lost the green screen, my audio, my video, I'm having all kind of issues right now. So I just want to get these questions and try to get this thing resolved eventually, because I have a couple times before, and like as you know, I haven't been doing my live stream like I used to because I've been running on the campaign. But tell me if you can see anything. Give me some thumbs up and things. Okay, I see a thumbs up. Thanks so much, Shay. I really appreciate it. And I think I'm sitting. Okay, I can see it from the Instagram side. So I am doing some movement. So y'all had to excuse the green screen. And we just have to roll with that. All right. And so has local police declared Daniel's case a cold case? They haven't declared it a cold case, but they're treating it like it's a cold case. The Buckeye Police Department is not doing any movement. Like I said, if I am not there in their face, they're not going to move. And so their movement have been so slow lately. Others are calling Daniel's case a cold case. So that's the issue I've been having. Others are calling it a cold case because they don't see any movement. I just don't call it a cold case. It's not a cold case because I understand the fact if we can't get Buckeye to do the job, yes, it's going to be considered as a cold case. So we got to do what we can to make sure, I get back up there to make them do the work. So thanks so much for the question. But no, it's far from a cold case. But again, they haven't declared it a cold case, but they're treating it like a cold case. They're not doing anything. All right. And you know what? And I'm so sorry, Laura. I think this probably what I was referring to. I thought you said someone came back home. Say Sir James did not come back home alive. He was 24. I worked in the not for profit space. I know what it's like to deal with the police that are resistant to look, to help, to care at all. I will help you and your and other families. Thanks so much for doing that in any way I can. And I really appreciate you doing that. And thanks for clearing it up. And my condolences. And I'm very sorry for that, because I know, yeah, that have to be very, very hard. Even more so because there's some families I ran into as well who had loved ones that, just didn't, we already know with the Tito family, for instance, that had a tragic situation. So I'm so sorry for the loss that you have in your family. And thank you so much for being here again. A lot of times we have missing loved ones, we have tragedy in our family, and we still manage to help others. So I really want to say thank you so much for your help. Also, to see if I have anyone else with a question. If you all have any more questions, I'm gonna jump off pretty soon here. I'm trying to grab as many as I can. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's being here. I really want to get some of your comments here. And yeah, and see, you say I'm not sure if you have contacted these folks, but they are very reputable. Texas EquuSearch and Search and Recovery. Yes, I reached out to Texas EquuSearch. That's who I was speaking of. His name was Dave Rader or something. I think if I remember his name correct. He said Daniel case did not fit their profile, whatever that meant, and so they was unable to join in to help at all with Daniel's case. But to his credit, they sent me to another nonprofit who specialized in drones, and I did reach out to them. I can't remember their name exactly, but they said it was going to come out. And then the day of my search, and I was reliant on them showing there because there's one of the organizations like Texas EquuSearch that asked law enforcement, to be a part of, I guess, come out to search or something. And so they went through all that with the Buckeye Police Department. I made sure that happened for them. But then the day of the search, like I said, I was really reliant on my search was based on some of the drone stuff they can do provide. They didn't show because the gentleman said that one of his guys wasn't going to show up or something to that effect, and they just didn't show. So when I said that the Black and Missing Foundation is the only one that actually showed up, that's what I mean by that. Meaning, I reached out to everyone. So yeah, Texas EquuSearch was one of the first that I reached out to. Let me see. All right. Am Zodiac Cancer. Thanks so much. You say you have a question. I see the word question there. Why haven't them two females when Daniel stayed the night at the house with no spoken with not spoken to you yet one-on-one? It's been too long to stay quiet. I sometimes go back and forth with the way I handle these two young ladies, because Daniel himself, Daniel told me personally before he went missing. I talked to my son 2 days prior, and he personally told me about the two women. Now he only mentioned Caitlin's name because that's the exact female that he was actually dealing with at that moment. But I have never gotten a name. At least I can't remember him telling me the name of the second female. But I knew she was there that night when he spent the night there. And so my issue with law enforcement is because personally as a father, the way law enforcement was trying to portray my son like he was some type of stalker. And then they allowed her, and then the media ran off with it. And I have spent a lot of time defending my son's character. He's a brilliant scientist. He's not a stalker. Those type things. He's not sad and depressed. Like they're trying to paint my son in all kind of pictures. And I usually it's sad to say, and I want to put it in a different way, but it's factual. A lot of times it depends on who the person is that's actually the victim. They'll turn that victim and they dig into that victim to find any kind of criminal or some type of something to kind of sensationalize the case instead of saying, hey, my son is straight the victim, right? Because Caitlin's never been a victim. And so when I was dealing with that, the only issue I had at the time is Caitlin's age. I think she was close to my son, I think a year older than Daniel at the time. And then the way that law enforcement was betraying my son, and, you know, I didn't like it. And the only issue is because I'm a girl dad. I have daughters, right? And my sons know, my daughters know how I am about my daughters as well, any female, is that you're not going to treat a woman a certain way, right? So when I heard some of these things what law enforcement said, of course, I'd say this is not my son's character. He just, you know, at the same time, I was really being very tender in the sense with this young lady, because I'm saying, hey, she's my son's age, she's young. I'm not going to approach her. I let law enforcement handle it. I let my investigator handle that. So one of the things that happened is kind of like a regret not pushing that even harder, because I was getting on Buckeye at the time about who is this other female, first of all, why are you hiding her? What's her age? You know, what her take on what happened when y'all keep throwing these things in the police report, trying to demonize my son some way. Why are y'all letting this woman put up her own text messages when it don't match the phone record? Things like that. So I was wanting to know who this other woman was as well, and we still don't know. For some reason they have always and still hiding. You don't even hear her in the report. You know that she exists in the report, but they're hiding this other female. They find hiding who she is, her identity for whatever reason. They're protecting her. We even have, from my investigation, suspicions that this other female, or even Caitlin, has some relations with Chief Hall and some of the other ones in the past. We're trying to tie those things together, but we kind of been not having the investigative end on that, running into those roadblocks. So again, they was hiding for whatever reason, and so so that's the thing. So yes, I don't know who the other female is, and with Caitlin, like I said, I've been very careful to not approach her in any form. Just let law enforcement handle it, or my investigator at the time, Miss McGrath at the time, handle that. Okay, like I'm losing my movement. I see I'm still moving on Instagram, and if I do that, I'm have to probably cut this thing off short, everyone. So I will end up apologizing. But if you could hear me at least, give me some more thumbs up, please. Give me some more thumbs up, and then I can end it in a different way without just abruptly just taking off. I have some issues again. You see the green screen. I'm frozen on the Instagram screen. I'm frozen on the other Instagram screen, I believe. Okay, Ashley O'Shea, thanks so much. I see a thumbs up. Dragonfly, I see a thumbs up. Thank you so much for letting me know you at least can hear me. I think I'm frozen on the screen, but at least you can hear me. I don't know if you can see me moving, but I know on the Instagram side there, I'm seeing freeze up. And so, but anyway, I don't have any more questions. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined in on this live stream. Again, like I started off at the beginning, please, if you have any ideas that you think I can do for an event, if you can, you think I should do a in-person event where, you know, I can bring families, you know, put this thing together, but I need the resources for that. If you have a way that you feel I can get these resources to get this thing done, it is one of the things I have to do, move really quickly, because 23rd to get here really quick. So that's why I'm thinking more so it'd be pushed towards being a virtual event. And thank you so much, Debbie. I saw that. Thanks so much. Much love to you as well. If it end up being a virtual event, I still need some help with you know, some ideas that you may have or people may have, because right now, like I said, my mind is straight on winning the primary here. I have a primary on June 9th, and so my mind is there to try to get past this primary, because I have a lot on the table. As you guys probably know, like I said again, I wrote Help Find Missing Americans Act. That's going to help us find our missing loved ones, help law enforcement with new tools. But that's not the end of it. I have another bill that I'm working on towards helping find our missing loved ones. Of course, I have some bills that are dealing with totally different parts of things, like some of the political stuff. But actually, I'm doing the work of things that I carried on from that desert out there, from Arizona, from constantly really trying to advocate and find ways to help our American citizens. So again, I just need your help. I need your brain power, you could say. I need your brain power. I need your help to help me come up with an idea that I can use for an event. I'm usually great at putting something together, but this time I'm having a little issue with trying to come up with something that would be very meaningful. I just wanted to be very meaningful, to be able to help families. And if you're a nonprofit or someone else, and you say, "Hey, look, Mr. Rouse, I can take on to that." Aid with that. Yes, I need that too. We can work together and get it done. So I really appreciate it, everyone. Again, the information on the bottom of the screen, the 200 number, 803-200-7994. You can reach out. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. Reach out to me. Again, those who have already reached out to me, I have gotten your message. Thank you so much. And I will contact you before this week out. Like I said, I've been stretched. I did 923 houses today. So that's a lot. So I'm physically tired. So once I got this live stream, you can imagine I'll probably pretty much stretch out for the rest of the night. So, but I we'll jump on really quick. So before this week is over with, to see if anybody can, come up with some ideas and try to explain a little bit what I meant when I put the post up the other day. Because like I said, some people's thinking I was saying, "Hey, I'm going out to the desert and do a search," and it's not a search that's scheduled right now. So though I would love to go ahead and get the search done out there as well, but it's nothing scheduled right now. Again, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. You say I think of you. Okay, I think you should contact Ashley Banfield. Oh yes, Ashley. Yes, Ashley. She does a lot. Yes, with Drop Dead series on YouTube, and ask her to do a show about Daniel's disappearance. She could really get the word out. Yes, she did so much work for me. Matter of fact, she helped me out. She donated as well. I really appreciate her. Yeah, because she had me on the show quite a bit in 2022 and 2023. I've been on the show quite a bit. Very, very, very wonderful lady. Very passionate about what she does. Yes, I hope I can get back on the show. Like I said, she have a big old following. She definitely actually cares about people. So when I say that Ashley cares, I actually found people like Robert Dean from Dateline. I'm trying to think some other. Some will say, I'm not gonna say their name, but Sarah Seidner, for instance, she's I think she's still with CNN. I'm trying to name the people who actually to this date or during the Christmas holidays or whatever, right? And y'all don't know behind the scenes, these people actually, like Ashley Banfield, for instance, would actually say, send your text message, say, "Happy holidays," or "I'm thinking about you," or something, do something. And so that's why I say I really appreciate these people that actually do that. I know they have a big schedule, and I know they're very busy. But yeah, they'll take the time out to say something, like she did, donated to the GoFundMe. So again, yes, she's a wonderful person, Ashley. Yes, very, very, very. Let me see here. All right, I think that's it, everyone. I don't see any more questions. Okay. And I think Debbie, you put something there. I just wanted to throw it on the screen. You said something about the 3 home divisions on Sun Valley Parkway. They have events all of them. They need to be notified. It should help. Is their community? Yes, and you're right. They do that. Some things on Sun Valley Parkway. I've been out in the desert search one time, and they had that whole road blocked off, doing some type of parade or something like that. What it was, but I don't know when they do it and how they do it. I know that's between Surprise. You got Surprise that's up north, and you got the I can't think of the other one that's closer to where the area where Daniel went missing. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, I have a great idea. Yeah, those division. Then you got the I think it starts with a T. That's a little south of that. And I haven't been out there for a while, so some of the names starting to escape me. Some of the communities, but I know exactly what the areas you're talking about. So thank you so much, Debbie. I really appreciate it. Let's see. That's it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for the quality. Sorry for losing the screen. Seeing the freeze up that you may experiencing. The green screen that's behind me. And so, but I would try to get those bugs, checked out and fixed next time I do a live stream. But ultimately, this live stream is basically to ask everyone help for this upcoming event that I want to put together for the 23rd. It'd be 5 years that my son, geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson, have been missing from that Sonoran Desert. For those who don't know, Daniel, like I say, it's been 5 years, but Daniel's case is not a cold case. It's something I'm keep pushing. Again, I think the biggest point would be once I get past this primary and be able to get back to Arizona and get into Detective Adams' face and Chief Sanders and whoever the sheriff department of Maricopa County is. I really think once I get my boots back on the ground out there, you will see what I'm talking. Everyone will see what I'm saying. Where this is not a far from a cold case. It's just that neglect from the Buckeye Police Department. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. The Buckeye Police Department, because I had law enforcement officers and also departments behind the scenes ask me to be specific when I'm talking about law enforcement, because I'll have a habit of saying, "Oh, law enforcement ain't doing this and law enforcement not doing that." There's a lot of good police departments. Like, for instance, we have one here in Richland County, right here in South Carolina. His name is Sheriff Leon Lott here in Columbia, South Carolina. For those who don't know, very great police department, very great sheriff department with his leadership. Right, so there's some good ones out there. What I'm saying is, I had to be specific when I say that, and I'm talking specifically about the Buckeye Police Department history of corruption, the history of people who falsified crime statistics and things like that. So, and in history with Daniel case of not moving at all until I kick him down the road. So those kind of things I had to keep, like you said, Sanchez, I had to keep on pushing, keep on kicking, and keep on pushing them ahead. And that's the way I'm able to do it when I get back in Arizona to be able to get them to move to the next level. The ultimate goal, of course, is still to get the FBI involved in Daniel's case. And I've been pushing for that. And again, not dumping, but I have to be straight up honest. I feel like the Phoenix field office, the FBI field office, is a bunch of glorified police officers that's buddies with their blue Buckeye Police Department. So, and that's another issue I have, but I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not going to let off the gas. And so if I need you guys to keep backing me on these things, because as long as we're showing interest in Daniel's case, it cannot be pushed off. It just, hey, it's one of those cases in the wind. So I really appreciate everyone who have been, again, like you have been doing, Shay, the hashtags, hashtag Daniel Robinson, geologist Daniel Robinson, those type things. Yeah, it helped out a lot. So thank you, Shay, for bringing that back up again. We need to put that back, start doing that again. And also a hashtag the Buckeye Police Department as well, to let them know that, hey, we're not accepting this as a cold case. It's not a cold case. We just need them to do the work. I have a friend of mine. She have a sister named Kaya that we're missing. Same kind of situation. You can't deem it as a cold case when we're not actually doing the work. So we got to get law enforcement to be more involved in these. Thanks so much, Shay. I really appreciate the hashtag. Be involved in the Daniel Robinson case, the Kaya, Kaya's case. And I hope my friend she'll get upset with me, because I don't know why Kaya. I'm tired, everyone. Her last name. I want to say her last name. But definitely want to, cases like that, we want to keep highlighting. And so again, Ashley Williams, case. And so we have to have law enforcement to, some people are afraid to really, what I always say, when I say afraid, not really afraid, I'll take that back. People do not want to hurt their feelings. I think you want to, what I like to say. I think a lot of people don't want to hurt law enforcement feelings, but it's hard for me to accept that as a father, first of all, who haven't had opportunity to grieve my son's disappearance, and for a father who knows what another family or mother or father is going through when they have a missing loved one. and then to worry about law enforcement's feelings, because law enforcement, though they are made up of people, humans who are people, but it's their job, it's their duty. When you say you're gonna be in law enforcement office, it's your duty. And the reason why it's hard for me too, because I'm a military guy. I'm a retired Army combat engineer and disabled veteran at that. And one of the things is when I was out there serving our country in Afghanistan, when I was getting shot at by the Taliban, and I could hear the rounds passing my head and things like that, right? We can't be throwing our feelings out there. We just did our jobs, right? And then, so what I'm saying, when you're out there working for the people who's back at home, relying on you to keep the country safe, keep standing out on the front line, it's your job. Just like when I went to Melts and raised my right hand to join, just like the man said before we sworn in, no one put a gun to your head. No one asked you to do this. No one, you know why you're joining, right? And you do that. The same thing with the police officers. Same as that thing. Damn the feelings, do your job. That's what you sworn to do, to protect and serve. It's your job. So again, we definitely want to keep law enforcement safe. But what I'm saying, them doing their job, I don't feel you got to do your job. That's just period. It's not about your feelings. Somebody be rough on you. Hey, you need to work on my loved one's case. Hey, they criticizing you're not doing a great job. Suck it up. Don't put your feelings in it. Do a great job. That's what I say. Do your job. Do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. And so, that's the way I approach it. And so when I go out there in Arizona and talk to law enforcement, it's not based on whether they like me or something. No, it's based on me getting them to find some information in my son's case, especially when I see it right there in front of me. Hey, look, here's his vehicle. Here's the clothing items. Here's this. Here's that. Here's the red transfer plate. Find out and find some leads in this case with the evidence that's provided to you. And if you don't want to do that, you're just not doing your job because you're worrying about your feelings, or you're worrying about spending money, or whatever the case may be, making excuses, apathy, whatever the case may be. But it's right there. So you can't ever say it's a cold case. You just don't want to do the work. And so that's where I'm at when it comes to Daniel's case. That's why I'm at with a lot of other cases I see out there. A lot of families won't, like I said, be able to want to kind of push that button with law enforcement because they really want the help from law enforcement. So they kind of walk that little thin line. No, I'll speak for that family, and I'll get out there. When they can't say it, I'll say it for them. That's the approach that I have. So again, thank you, everyone. I can go all night, and everybody know that's me. I would say I'm gonna stay on for a short time, and then next thing, those 2 hours of being on. My family, friends, those who looking at me now, man, get off and go to sleep, get some rest. So take care of yourselves. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. Thanks so much for your love, support for Daniel's case. Again, if you want to help, the information on the bottom of the screen there, you can get in contact with 200 number, the 803-200-7994. Email, pleasehelpfinddaniel@yahoo.com. Go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com where you can look at ways you can help me out. Keep Daniel's story alive. The funding that we need for everything I'm doing. Even for myself, I have some issues. You guys already know the story of the loss that I have personally taken. That's right there on the website as well. What I'm doing for the country, running for office, those type things. If you want to help, all those things are right there. Everything's inclusive together. And so, I was to say thank you so much, everyone, for all these years in 2021. You have been the champion of people who actually had been the backbone of everything I've been doing. So I truly appreciate you. But I'm just a father that would try. I tried, like I said, that's why you hear me. I did over 900 houses a day, getting these flyers out and talking to people today. And I'm still doing this live stream. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep pushing myself, but I definitely can't do it without y'all. So I say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you all have a wonderful night. Again, if I don't get on before the week over, always do what I ask you to do. Please love your loved ones as much as you can. Tell them you love them every chance you get. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but I never thought it would have been a day that one of my children would be missing. I never thought it was 2 days before Daniel went missing. When I talked to him last, that was the last time I heard him tell me that he loved me, and I said it to him. Never thought that he would end up missing, that it would be almost 5 years coming on the 23rd Never imagined it in my head. Never imagined that I knew the statistics that I'm always throwing around, even on the campaign trail running for U.S. Congress and out in the street, about the statistics of people that's missing, 280 missing in my state right here currently. So I would have never known those things if it didn't hit home. A lot of times when things hit home or you run into, that's when the world opens up wide open, and then you start understanding what's happening in our country, and nobody's saying anything about it. So again, just tell the ones that everyone that you love them as much as you can, because you don't want the opportunity to come when you can't say it at all. And then you're just wondering if they're out there, they're alive, they're not, those kind of things. So people, we get in arguments, we get in disagreements. I get it. That is life. That's called family dynamics. It's called a lot of things. But if you get in some type of argument, say, look, we can't talk right now. I'm angry with you, but I do love you. That's why I'm asking you to stay away. I just need a break, but I love you, because there's going to come time when you wish you could say it. And so, again, take care of yourselves, be blessed, and have a wonderful weekend if I don't get to talk. Event that I would like to have. So, again, take care of yourself, and see if I can get this screen back right so we can end the night. So thanks so much. God bless you all, and take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.